Hi, I'm Zach Stewart.
Laura Hotchkiss.
And I'm Daniel Kvoras. On this podcast, we improvise in character as hosts of a morning radio show in a fictional country called the Driftwood Isles.
Everything we say is made up, and none of the events, people, or places are real.
It's that simple. Now enjoy this episode of Good Morning Driftwood.
And welcome back. I don't know why I did just there, but that's how it came out, because I'm so excited to be here this morning.
Bench is coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Good.
Arguably a beat late.
Good morning, Driftwood. I am Bench PerDiem. With me in studio, as always, Penelope MacGuffin.
Hello,
And-
I'm a tease.
Penelope is feeling real fancy this morning.
Giddy
Love
with
it.
excitement for the day ahead.
Well,
Love
good
it.
morning to you,
And it's
Penny.
contagious, and I'm sure it'll be just as contagious for our listeners.
Yes.
And good morning to you as well, Dirk.
And good
Dirk Wiley.
morning to you as well.
I was going to say the impeccable Dirk Wiley.
I'll take impeccable.
Yeah, you're impeccable.
Love it.
Look
Much
at you.
appreciated.
No one can peck you.
I would hope not.
They wouldn't dare.
I'm coming back with Mr. Wilson and the boys if they do.
Oh, Mr. Wilson and the boys. I miss them. How are they doing?
They're doing well. I take care of them. Of course, Mr. Wilson is my fist, and the boys are my open hand. Each of the fingers, those are collectively the boys. And so anytime I get into a tussle, anytime I throw someone in the tumbler, Mr. Wilson and the boys backing me up. But I take care of them, lotion every night after my
It's
punching bag session. It's a hard
so-
sandbag, so I do get bruised knuckles sometimes.
No gloves,
but
Just
right?
on the one hand, because the other hand is a slap into
Exactly.
that punch bag,
yeah,
which is...
which I do still utilize.
Yeah,
I smack
Still,
the bag with one
Yeah.
hand and I punch it with the other.
it's interesting to me that you'd have a different care procedure for each hand based on their own wants, needs,
Well,
and personalities.
It makes sense.
Indeed, yeah. There's different requirements, different functions, different utilizations, and the maintenance of that should be catered to their function.
Yeah. And
like
each of the boys has their own process as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Different smells, different lotions, different... Honestly, the fact that your pinky is like such a high-end beauty drama queen, like, wow. Like, you ain't getting away with some store-bought lotion for that pinky.
No,
No.
not at all. Yeah, because the boys have names. Have I told you the boys' names?
Mhm.
Of course.
Yep. There's the thumb, Jethro.
The thumb Jethro.
Index finger, Winston.
Mhm.
Then there's the middle finger, Peter.
Yeah.
Then there's the ring finger, Lucas.
Uh-huh.
And there's the pinky finger, Marp.
Marb.
My pinky name, Marp.
Every time you say it, I forget that's the pinky's name.
Yep. He's sort of the ragtag little fella,
Yeah.
in the gang.
Yeah.
If it's the boys, I'm picturing sort of an Oliver Twist style gang. Jethro's the leader,
Oh,
of course, the
interesting.
thumb.
Yeah.
Then you've got Winston,
Because
who's sort of
opposable
the
thumbs are like what sets us apart from the animals.
true.
Mm.
So that's
so you
the
would
highest.
be the leader, yeah.
That's, yeah.
Highest accolade.
Then Winston, index finger, he's sort of the right hand man, the sort of the brains of the operation.
Even though,
Yeah.
funnily,
He's-
this is your left
Because
hand.
if you want to do a finger
True.
gun, you need a finger and a thumb.
There you go, exactly. And so
Mhm.
he's the advisor. He's the consigliere. Is that the right?
That's correct, yeah.
yeah. There you go.
I've watched films.
Peter is the middle finger. He's sort of the Winston. He's pointing at people, telling people what to do. He's giving the orders. Also works
And
on that
of
level.
course, when he does that, everyone else is pointing back at themselves. Well, the other
Exactly.
three.
They know.
Yeah.
And then Peter is the middle finger. He's like the muscle. He's like
And
the
fuck
FU.
you.
Exactly. There
Yeah.
you go. And then Lucas, the ring finger, he's Winston's younger brother.
Mhm.
And he's sort of the heart and
Romantic,
soul.
yeah.
Know,
Real romantic.
he's not the most aggressive. He's the one who's sort of, everyone takes him under his wing, and
Mhm.
he's the
Poet.
sweetie. He's the sweetie of the group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Marp is just a wild card there
Wild
at the
card.
end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's the boys. And of course, Mr. Winston, the fist on the right hand, who just comes in with a vengeance.
You don't want to be on the other side of either Mr. Wilson or the boys.
I'll get you.
No.
One way
Ever.
or another, different styles, but the end result is the same. You on the ground.
There's two sounds. There's you on the ground and
Well, there's
Miss-
three sounds.
there's three sounds.
There's the knock from Mr. Wilson, a slap from the boys,
and then you
and
falling
you
on the
fall
ground.
and you hit the
There's,
ground.
I mean, technically, there's also four sounds because there's the thump
Each
from
one.
Mr. Wilson. There's the hit from the slap.
Mhm.
There's the person going "ow," and there's them falling on the ground.
Yeah, four sounds.
There you go. Four sounds.
Yeah,
Got to look out for those four sounds.
5 if you include that he-ya noise you sometimes make.
And where does that fall in
Occasionally.
the order?
I think that sometimes comes just a millisecond after the first hit.
Mm-hmm. That's where for emphasis.
Yeah, like it's like when
A pop on
UFC.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when
Like you're riding a horse.
MMA fighters, how they do that like breath control so that when they get punched, they're not completely winded and it's like they
Yeah.
breathe like that a lot, like a panting dog.
Just like a
Probably what
panting
they're going
dog.
for.
Yeah.
It's an intimidation
Except-
technique.
By
Hey,
the way-
downward dog is a yoga thing because dogs are feared.
Well,
In
I will say
fitness.
that
And fear is
Feared.
the primary emotion of
My-
yoga.
my dog Dolma, she does not pant at all, even though she's a very old English bulldog.
Yeah, of course. Dolma doesn't pant.
Breathes like incredibly quietly. It's
Air just sort of
concerning.
moves through her.
Yeah.
It's very zen.
I don't know if her lungs.
That's one word for it. Creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy is another word.
I don't know if her lungs are actually
Sure.
processing it or if she just happens to be near air.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, aren't we all?
Yeah, but I think my body's processing it and turning
Yeah,
it into
it's-
fuel and power. I think
through,
for
and through the
Dolma,
lungs, where it seems to be just passing through her entire physical form.
yeah, like there's she's the most like if you were to pick her up as a tea towel and you were to hold the tea towel to the light, you would just be able to see the entire scenery behind it. That is Dolma in dog form.
I
Like you
want to
hold
say that
Dolma
I
up to the
followed you
light.
there. I
and you
can't
can
say
just-
that I
she's-
did.
Yeah, you hold her up to the light and you can just see
She's sort of
everything
translucent.
through. Yeah, that's where I'm
When
going
held
with that.
up to the light.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a more clear
If
way
you
to say
see
that.
if you see her at a particular angle,
Mhm.
she just kind of disappears.
I mean, it is a better
I
way
mean-
of saying it, but it's less poetic. And if we're gonna, if poetry corner,
Okay,
we
Lucas.
wanna,
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Poet.
yeah.
Anyway,
Sometimes you just have to add words to things to make it more poetic.
That poetry is basically just saying
Yeah.
something simple longer.
Same if you
Just
were like,
saying
can you make it
longer and more
weird?
complicated.
If you were to make something weird, you would just add more descriptive terms.
Precisely, just adjectives.
Yeah.
well, speaking of making things longer,
Oh, right. Stories we have to get to.
well, this weekend we have Driftwood's annual Big Wet Run. This is
Exciting.
a very exciting weekend, and the whole island is abuzz. The main event, of course, is the Big Wet Nautical Marathon, which goes for 26 nautical miles. It's a run in ankle-deep water around the island. We'll also have a lot of happenings around the island during the run, as we always do. There's a lot of food boats all around. It's a national holiday, so everyone gets the day off. So people will be able to go to Lionel Titty's assorted jerky raft, Balthazar Cadillac's
Wait, he's doing
stew yacht.
assorted now?
He's branching out from the
He's
swan
branching
jerky.
out.
The swan jerky has been such an international hit
Yeah.
that he's starting to come out
That's
with new jerkies. They're
I believe
expanding.
he initially announced a few. It's just that Swan Jerky was really
Took off
the
so
one
much.
that.
It is though sometimes
iconic.
like the Coca-Cola company. What else are they really known for but Coca-Cola?
Sprite.
Yeah, but no one thinks that's them
That's true.
because they're not the Coca-Cola and Sprite company. They're the Coca-Cola company.
Hey,
Valid.
well, aside from
a good
the
point.
jerky, and they will have the Swan Jerky, I'm
Of course.
told.
Of course.
We'll also have Balthazar Cadillac's stew yacht and Johnny Goat's root beer float boat.
Mm.
Also a very popular destination during the marathon for runners.
I'm glad we have a pop screen on these microphones because that was one of those names that really
Root beer float boat.
float boat pops.
Johnny Goat's root beer float boat.
It's a lot of letters.
The
a little,
goat
a little
float.
tongue twister.
Mm.
Yeah.
Called the goat float because it's the greatest of all time float, I believe.
And also
yeah.
conviently part of his name.
Named by-
Yeah.
No, it's that,
It's
no, it
both.
works
Yeah,
on
yeah.
multiple levels.
Yeah.
You can spell it either way with the. I was
You
gonna
got
say-
it. You got it, buddy.
Wait, did you just realize what you were about to say was factually inaccurate?
No, I realized what I was going to say was really stupid.
Let's hear it.
No,
I was gonna
that's
say
not
with the
stopped you
dots
before.
between the
That's never
letters.
stopped you before.
Go again.
With the dots between the letters.
I think that is a spelling matter.
Yeah.
Whether or not there are full stops,
Yeah.
periods.
No, but I thought of it as the dots between the
The
letters.
dots between the letters.
Yeah.
As part of the spelling.
Okay,
Yeah,
can I
you would be misinformed, and that did sound stupid.
Just
so
like-
let's power forward.
Can I tell you guys something?
Please.
I know we're going to be broadcasting live from the run.
Mhm.
We always have our booth there. People should come and say hi if they want to while we're broadcasting. It's always fun. I was hoping to maybe participate this year. I was trying to train and
Really?
I failed.
You failed training?
Yeah.
What does
Sorry,
that look
Dirk
like?
doesn't understand the concept of failing at training.
Well, training doesn't seem like something you can fail at because it's not the actual task itself.
Well, I had
it's
Also,
goals.
preparing for the
Dirk has
task.
never failed.
That is true.
It's very true.
I had
I've not
training
succeeded
goals.
by some other people's metrics, but if you ask me,
Yeah.
never failed.
And people do ask you.
They do. They say, Dirk, have you failed? And I say, get the hell out of my face. And then Mr.
Dad.
Winston pops into.
Get the hell out of my face, driving test instructor.
Yeah.
Who is my dad?
And he did. He sped off real quick.
Yeah. Get out of my face.
The driving
GP who
instructor.
just did tests on my blood iron levels.
Yeah, that one came back to bite me. I needed to revisit him.
Yeah.
You
But,
were very anemic.
Yeah. Well, now I drink
happens.
a bunch of blood every day, so it helps.
And it fixed it.
Yeah. Top those iron levels up.
Sorry, is there something
Real
funny
quick.
about
This is a health
Derek's
matter.
health?
I'm
Yeah.
just thinking about goat with those little dots in between them.
Those
sorry.
dots getting you again. You really loved that little thought about the
little
dots.
As-
Yeah.
I'm the funniest person I know.
It's good you think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of funny people.
No.
The bar
Yeah.
is very low.
Okay, well, it's good you recognize
Well,
that.
that's
at
actually
least.
a shame to think of it in that way, that the bar is so low that you're the funniest instead of it being like a real high bar and you still consider
Or like
yourself
feeling
great.
good about you. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I
that
was-
feels
It
like
speaks more to
that's
yourself
such a bench
image
way.
than.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't need to get into that. That's fine.
Such a
anyway, I
bench way of
failed
saying
in
that.
trying to train for a thing.
Yeah, let's walk through what that looks like,
I had goals, like training goals and stretch
Sure.
goals, if you
which
will.
is just running, right?
Yeah, running certain distances.
Yeah.
And I just
That's a good start for training for a run.
Yeah, you just didn't
Mhm.
make it.
yeah, I just didn't
Because
keep up
even
with
if you
it.
make it slower than you had hoped, that's
Oh,
still
I didn't
progress.
even time it.
Mhm.
I didn't even time it. It was just about getting to a certain distance.
And you did
Look,
not do
a
that.
nautical marathon is hard. I was
Sure,
able
any
to-
marathon is hard.
But the nautical is 1.15 harder and longer than a regular one. I know this. We all know this.
Of course.
Yeah,
So it's a more challenging thing than a regular marathon.
exactly.
So presumably, I guess you would need higher marks in training than a normal marathon
Exactly.
to
It's
achieve that.
It's really that last
But you don't
0.15
need
mile.
to like sprint it the whole time. You
Yeah.
just need to get there.
Yeah. You just have to like commit.
Some people walk for long periods of
Well,
marathons.
Yeah.
You say you don't need to sprint it, but like everyone
Sprint,
does.
definitely not.
No.
Sprint, I don't think anyone is capable of sprinting a marathon.
Well, I certainly am not. I tried.
don't
and I
know.
failed.
No one is. If you
I-
can't sprint longer than even the best sprinters can't do
Yeah.
it for that long.
Although I did watch the elite men's marathon at a Commonwealth Games once. I just happened to be in a city in the world when that was taking place.
Okay.
And it felt like they went sprinting past me, those elite
See,
men.
they're
Like,
fast.
they fast. They're some fast boys.
You know, they say
Some
They-
fast boys
they
and
some
girls
fast boys
went
and
real
girls.
fast.
one man's sprint.
Fast past.
One man's sprint is another man's trash.
They say that?
I don't track
Yeah.
that.
It's a training term.
Seems
it's a
insulting
technical.
towards the sprinter if you saw someone
Yeah.
sprinting and called it trash.
No,
that's
I'm saying
trash to me.
Sorry,
That's
I am saying
very
that
insulting
my
towards
sprinting is so slow that to other people it would seem like trash.
Okay, that checks.
Okay.
for
It's
me.
more about
That
my
makes sense.
self-image again.
Again, back to your very, very
Yes.
low self. I
I
think
it's
we should
medium.
work on that. Maybe
No.
talk to someone. Maybe I remember you had a therapist at one point.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to see them anymore
Nah.
because
I'm good.
doesn't sound like it.
That's the worst answer for
It doesn't.
anything.
Also, it was a real long sort of
would've-
I'm good.
Yeah, I would have accepted
Unconvincing.
any answer that was like, "Oh, we decided to take a break from treatment for a bit. I was to do a period of self-reflection. Maybe
Yeah.
they left town.
I
Maybe
reached
they
a period. They
yeah.
left town.
I would have accepted they left
That sounds
town
like
as
because
a
of
better.
him.
Yeah,
when you
like
put it
I would
that
have
way.
accepted that more than I good as the answer here.
I'm
Like that
good.
would have checked out more for me if they were like, "This is too hard. I'm leaving." That
If the
makes
therapist had said
yes,
that?
that makes
Sounds
more
worse to
logical
me.
sense for
That sounds
me
worse.
that would be a truthful thing rather than you just going,
Oh, it's
"I
just-
good."
I didn't go,
Yeah.
I good. I went, I'm good.
Yeah, again, unconvincing.
Yeah,
That person doesn't sound. If anyone said that, it doesn't sound like they're good.
the elongation
Mm.
of the eye. I don't know if you probably don't hear this because we all hear ourselves different ways than what we actually sound like. But you modulated the noise within the eye that I feel like if we were to put it into a high-tech sound system, slow it down, maybe reverse it like you used to do with old Led Zeppelin albums, I think what we would hear inside is, "This is a
Paul is
lie.
Yeah, the subconscious message
Paul
there.
McCartney's dead."
Yeah.
Yeah, not every song's trying to tell us Paul McCartney's
It
died
was
immediately.
weird
Yeah.
how Led Zeppelin kept trying to say that.
It's like they had an invested interest. What do you do for your self-care routine?
I tried to run.
That's a terrible
Okay, well then
self-care.
give yourself give yourself at least like a little more leeway in terms of the goals and potentially not hitting them. Not everyone who runs is going to be great at running, but if they keep running, then it's still a good thing, mentally speaking.
I guess you're right. Maybe I could do like a half naughty marathon.
Okay.
A half naughty.
What about like? Is that like sort of the second half? You start getting a little scandalous and pop that top off, and
it's just nautical.
You start listening to...
right, half naughty as a nautical. I was
You
thinking
start
just make it a
listening
little more...
to T.I.'s Whatever You Like song, which is actually quite filthy when you listen to it, and then you get like, I would take my top off, I'm going to like start drinking a little beverage, I'm going to start like doing a little finger gun to the women on the side of the course.
Naughty marathon.
Naughty marathon.
Right there.
A lot of hen parties love the naughty marathon. Hen parties.
I'll bet they feel great about themselves as they do it. Maybe you should join. Maybe you should join a bachelorette party, a hen party.
I have.
That feels like just trying to join a random bachelorette party is not going to be good for anyone.
You're a beloved person by our listenership. Listeners of Good Morning Driftwood, if you're having a hen do or a bachelorette party and you'd like to bring along Ben, she's a fun hang.
Yeah.
And especially if you're going to a marathon, bring him along, give him one of those sashes and one of those crowns or pink cowboy hats. And watch him go to work.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to be there again anyway. We will be at the booth. If there's a group that seems inspiring, maybe I'll hop out of the booth and into the ankle deep.
All right.
Runway.
I will be encouraging you to do so.
That's the reason I refuse to take part. I'm not getting soggy shoes from the ankle deep water.
That's fair.
I'm not.
It's really hard to do the runs and wellies.
Yeah. I was just going to say, a lot of people do wear wellies.
Yeah.
For them.
I can get like the amount of people doing Doc Martens, but that's a heavy shoe to begin with.
It is a heavy shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy.
You have to do strength training with your legs.
Yeah. The calves
running with that.
burn harder than they would burn on the nautical mile. But I just, I don't want to get like soggy trainers that early into the marathon and then know that I have 1.5 times the normal distance of a marathon to keep up with soggy shoes.
Valid. But it's not for everyone.
That's just me.
Yeah. It's not for everyone.
Well, maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year we'll all compete.
Absolutely not.
No
probably not. That's not going to happen.
I was saying maybe next year for you.
Yeah.
Because this seems like more of a you goal.
This seems like definitely a you thing. Don't drag us into this.
Yeah.
Well,
but we support your mental health journey and your...
We're here for you.
Thank you.
Just not in a physical running, that marathon.
Yeah. In an emotional support way. If physical running is something that you think will help you, great. I am not going to run with you.
No.
I don't want to run.
That is...
Ever.
Yep.
One of my goals being an adult is to never have to run.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when you're
goal.
a kid, you got to run all over the place. You got to do a bunch of stuff. When being an adult, it's like, I don't want to ever have to run anywhere.
I mean, you don't want to have to run. You want to be able to if you need to.
Sure. One time it was quite early in the morning and I was looking out my window and I saw someone jogging and I was like, oh wow, it's very early in the morning, good for that person. This is like 5 a.m. It's like good for that person getting up early and going for a jog. And then I saw that they weren't wearing jogging gear but were wearing like jeans and just like a normal jacket. And my opinion of someone having it together has never dropped faster. There is such a huge difference between someone who's jogging in jogging gear at 5 a.m. and someone who's running down the street in street clothes at 5 a.m.
Clearly trying to get to a bus or a train.
That person does not have their life together.
That's the difference between running and jogging. You jog towards something, you run away or to make it in time to a thing.
Jogging, you're not really jogging towards something. You're jogging just to move.
Towards a goal.
Yeah.
I guess figuratively, you're jogging towards something.
Yeah, you could say that you're also jogging away from your problems.
I guess that's a little bleaker of a way to...
Let's go for a break. Let's go for a break.
Okay, well, you're going to see you after the break.
And we're back. We're back. And we're not jogging away from this segment. Am I right?
Ooh, well done, Bench.
Thank you.
Good transition there.
Thank you. I'm just still thinking about those little dots. Those little dots in the goats.
That's what's bringing you joy. Hey, if that's what's bringing you joy today,
that's what's bringing me joy. That's sparking
all
joy.
For it. I don't understand it myself and why you're so tickled by it, but if that's what's doing it for you, I was there when you said it. Still don't really understand the joy of it, but hey, if that's what's motivating you, then good for you, buddy.
Thanks, Dirk. I appreciate you guys have been very supportive, and I appreciate that. And Penny, how you doing?
Not great.
Oh,
I'm
no.
being honest.
First we
Okay.
had to pick Bench up. Now we got to pick you up. Penny.
All right.
Oh, no,
What's
like
going
I
on?
don't think I need like picked up, but I just had one of those dreams that is less like a dream and more like a real, like it felt so real, but also so bizarre that it can't be real. You know, one of those ones where you're like, I can't tell what is real and what is blurring. But I am going to require some letters of apology from very prominent people on the island for what they got up to in the dream.
Oh God.
From the dream. You want apologies from members of the community
Yeah,
for something that they did in your dream.
yeah. Here's
Can you list a few?
okay. So
Or just talk about the dream in general as well.
yeah, well, okay, let's take it back to the start. I was in this dream just walking down a street. You know when you think it's a street you know, but it also is not a street that you know?
Yeah.
Where you're like,
No.
the sense of it makes sense, but this is not, I can't go, this is Main Street. I can't go, this is, you know.
You're like, I've been here before, but you
Yeah.
can't think of a particular
not-
specific street.
I think it's just my brain just like pulling together specifics from a bunch of things that then
So
makes
there's
it
a
not
sense
an
of
actual-
familiarity, but it's not
Yes.
a literal place.
Yes,
Uncanny Valley.
exactly. Yes, except like
But not
That's
the
a
actual
visual thing,
Yeah,
right?
not the actual valley. Uncanny.
Oh, right. I forgot about the Uncanny Valley to the south.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Driftwood.
there's not real streets there. It's more
No,
of a
it's just a
valley.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. So I was walking down and there was a pack of cats.
Pack.
A pack.
A murder
of
of
cats. A
I think
gaggle of cats.
that's just crows are called a murder. I think cats are a pack or a gaggle, unless they do murder
Jellicle
someone.
of cats?
Unless they murder someone, in which case they are
They
a
are murder of
murderer.
cats.
Yeah.
Sure, Jellicle. I'm not familiar with the play, but I feel like they just sort of use that word whenever they like. So I guess you could
You don't
call
have
it
to be
that.
familiar with the play. It didn't really make any sense.
In the context of the play, it also didn't make
No,
sense. Sure,
no.
let's go with Jellicle then. So Penelope,
Every
you
time you
encounter
say
a Jellicle
jellicle,
of
it sounds like you hate the word.
sure,
You
say
say that with
Jellicle,
such a
I guess.
vile
Every time you say
There's-
it, there
If
is.
you want to say Jellicle, then just say Jellicle.
It feels almost like a slur when you say
Yeah,
it.
when
I
you say
really
it-
am not trying to add any sort of emphasis
Emotion,
or
yeah.
tone.
That's what's
But I guess
incredible.
just when I
It's
say
just
jellicle.
there. Yeah, it's there. Can we
It's
get a
just-
clean one? Can we just get a clean one?
Jellicle.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
even the way your
That
face
sounded
is
negative?
changing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds so negative. when
I
you
feel
say
like
it.
I'm just saying it's flat.
No, there's definitely grim emotion behind it. It
Interesting.
sounds like the noise you make when Mr. Wilson is flying through the air.
into action.
Yeah. Mr. Wilson's
Has
like,
that same emotion to it.
yeah, Mr. Wilson's like a
Mr.
couple,
Milson.
Mr. Wilson's a couple centimeters from engaging with a face.
Jellicle.
Yeah, that's what it's
That one I
yeah.
gave it a little
Yeah.
extra to
Yeah.
play into the picture you were painting.
Yeah. If
But-
I had video editing skills, I would take a clip from the video game like Mortal Kombat, and instead of was it Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter that
both.
finished with finish him, and I would
Ah.
replace it with you going
Oh.
Jellicle.
Jellicle.
Yeah. That's what I would do if I had any sort of video editing skills or spare time. I'm a busy lady.
Sure.
So that dream.
Right.
So there
you
was
came across a Jellicle of cats.
Jellicle cats, but they all had the faces of people I know. Okay.
Like the play cats.
Like the play cats, but not always, because sometimes
Was
you
one
go
of
see
them
a
Judi Dench?
sometimes you go see a play of cats and you don't already know all of the actors from other things. So
What?
that's factually incorrect.
Wait, you
probably
go
a
to plays
bad
and you
film,
don't
yeah.
recognize all of the actors there?
That's probably a bad production then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's
If you
like
don't recognize everyone in it.
you got like a high school production because it's like a niece or someone's like invited you along because they're in it, and you're like, I know none of these people. What is their IMDb resume? I don't know.
I only support actors who are well established after
Yeah.
decades long careers
Give me actors who have won an Oscar, or I'm just not gonna
and
care.
are probably even like much too old for this role and
Yeah.
definitely the wrong vibe and have definitely phoned it in.
Do you know?
But I know their name, so I'm comforted by the fact that I'm seeing them.
And their last name is also very familiar because their family has been in it for a while.
Do you know Robert
Sorry,
De Niro's?
what are you referring to?
Nepo babies.
Ah, yes.
I'm
Also true.
so sorry. I've actually sat
I
forward
thought
for
you were
this.
referring to
Yeah.
Jack Wiley, and you're like, yeah, he doesn't deserve anything. He's coming to him. But go on. What
No.
were
Are
you
you
saying?
aware Robert De Niro is about to be in a film where he plays both the main characters?
Sorry.
And it's a gangster film, and Robert De Niro is going to play both of the main
Are
characters.
they using Irishman technology for this?
They're
Is it a young and old
No, no,
Robert?
no,
Or
it's
he's just
like two
like
old
Tom
men.
Hardy in that one movie.
like you watch the trailer, and Robert De Niro's
Legend, I
walking
think it
in,
was.
and they're like brought to you by the team from like Godfather, and you're like, all right, he's gone back
Is
to
it
sort
Francis
of mafia
Ford
roots,
Coppola's
right?
next film?
And then he walks in and he sits at a table, and also at the table who's meeting is also Robert De Niro.
Oh, are they doing like the scene from Heat? Only both of those.
Both of them are Robert De Niro, and they're enemies. I think they're falling out with
What?
each other, and they're
They
both
have so
Robert
much
De
in common.
Niro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
They're
you're telling
Robert
me.
De Niro. Why would they be enemies?
You're telling
And
me
that was in your
all-
dream.
No, this wasn't even. I think this might have been the weird thing that like set off the strange dreams. You know, you see something odd in your life,
Because
and
you
your brain can't
explained
process.
you're unsure of what is real and
Yeah.
what's not. Are you sure this is a real
This
thing?
is a real thing, and I don't think my brain can process the
Are you sure though? Because
decision-making
neither of us have
logic.
heard of
I
this.
have not heard this.
I promise you, this is a thing that exists. This is an actual thing that exists. You're going to start getting whatever Google Chrome or available alternative. You could
Okay.
use Bing. I'm not going to judge. You're going to find the same results. Bing's not going to hide it.
Robert De
I don't
Niro
know
is
what-
going to be
what
two
to look
people.
up.
Just look up
Robert
Robert
De
De Niro
Niro.
twice.
Robert De Niro trailers.
Look up double
Robert De Niro
Look up
movie
double
with
De
himself
Niro.
trailer. Red Lights?
No, that's 2012.
Okay, what's the
The
film?
Alto
It's
Nights?
Alto Nights. The Alto
Al-
Nights.
Alto Nights?
Yeah,
Very vague.
very vague.
Okay, so this is happening. How is this
Wait,
related to
do
your
I,
dream?
Do I need to have seen the Soprano Nights to understand this?
Well, how is this related to your dream?
Absolutely no ways related to my dream.
Okay.
It just came in my head and it really freaks me out.
Got you. All right.
But, like,
Let's not
I
get
think-
bogged down in that,
I
baby.
genuinely think that knowing about this, you know how your brain has to process things from the day in your
Sure.
dreams? I think my brain can't get to grips with why this decision was made.
This caused a short circuit in your
This caused
subconscious
it.
that
So-
your
yeah.
sleeping subconscious mind
Show
needed
him.
to deal
Show
with.
him the pictures of the two De Niros. You're telling me you couldn't find another older man to play the other character?
That's a good point. Can't even the one with the glasses and the hat. You can't even really tell that it is De Niro.
It's so strange as
Barely.
a choice. So anyway, I'm walking down the street. There's a jelly-colored cat staring
All right.
at me.
Okay.
And all of the cats have the faces of people I know.
All right.
Unfortunately, the people I know is only Robert De Niro.
Do you know Robert De Niro?
Oh, yeah. Me and Bobby go way back.
What?
This is why I find it so strange.
Penelope, when did you meet Robert De Niro?
Oh, Robert De Niro, like he regularly vacations on the Isles.
That is, I
Up
have
north.
seen him like,
Yeah.
like from afar. I didn't
I
know you were
didn't
friends
know
with
this.
Yeah. Jack usually like spends his summers summering.
My brother?
Yeah.
him. He spends his summer summering.
Summering
With
in the north
Bob?
of the
With
Isles.
Robert De Niro?
Yeah. Oh, well, you can't call him Bob because you don't know him.
All right, I guess that's fair.
Mr.
He's
De
never
Niro.
mentioned this. He's never offered for me to join them. I like the films of Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
I would enjoy meeting that
Yeah.
man.
Meet
Yeah.
the Fockers.
It's a good one.
That is, out of all of the Robert De Niro films, it's a bold choice to start
I
with.
think it was genuinely maybe the first Robert De Niro film that I've ever seen.
It was a fun
And the
turn.
last.
It was a fun turn for him. It's
Oh, no,
he's
sorry.
funny and tough.
I realized I was incorrect there. I said in the last. You've definitely seen one of the Night in the Museums.
Oh, he's in them?
Was he in that?
Was he in that?
He was he not?
Are you thinking of Robin Williams?
No, I thought I thought De Niro appeared in one of them.
He probably has. The
Have I?
tracks.
I might have this wrong. Actually,
Look it up.
All right.
God, I thought
Again,
he was.
we're getting very, once again, we're getting immediately sidetracked by the mention of Robert De Niro from this dream. What did the different while Bench looks that up, what did the different Robert De Niro cats then do?
One of them said, "Here's the thing about me and Night at the Museum," and then he stalled.
He was directly addressing you related to his own filmography.
Yes, he went, "Here's the thing." Now, it's strange because what I would have done would be type in Robert De Niro and then see if Night at the Museum appeared rather than going individually through 3 different
Well, I
Night at the
did
Museum
do
films on
that.
IMDb.
Robert De Niro has so many credits.
But in the dream, what did he
Wow.
say?
Oh, in the
Because you were
dream.
counting your dream here.
Okay.
Bench is doing something separately.
So in the dream, everything was a riddle.
Right.
Every single thing they said was a
How
riddle.
many riddles were there?
You have no idea. There was like at least 17 levels of riddle.
Can you summarize them
Okay, one of them was
or hit maybe the best or top
okay.
or most interesting riddles that our listeners would want to hear?
Okay, one of them was, if this is true, this other cannot be. I
Okay.
am in boat, but I am not in float.
Okay, I am in boat and not in float. Was there a goal presented to you that would be given to you as a reward for answering these riddles correctly?
I'm
what
not
was the goal?
seeing Robert De Niro in Night in the Museum. I'm so sorry.
That's so strange because the goal was I get to watch an extended director's cut of Night at the Museum where Robert De Niro plays every
So he
part.
was cut out?
Yeah.
He
originally
plays
played
every part.
Yeah. But then apparently Ben Stiller got really annoyed that he was also filming scenes knowing that his scenes wouldn't get used because it would just be the Robert De Niro scenes that would get used. So that's why.
So were they shooting Ben Stiller's and the other actors' scenes and then bring in Robert De Niro at the end of the day and do all of the same scenes?
To do a much more gravitas Bobby De Niro cut.
Sure. Okay. And so the reward, again, hammering down on this dream, the reward presented to you by these cats with Robert De Niro's face was that you would then be able to watch a special edition of Night at the Museum in which all of the characters were played by Robert De Niro.
Now, you did start this off by saying you need
an
to request apology letters to several people on the island
who are
Robert De Niro.
That's one.
No, Robert De Niro plays multiple characters. Why are you not?
Okay.
Why are you not picking up on this?
You want an apology from the different personas
of Robert De Niro.
You want him
Because-
inside the actor studio style to get into character.
different films of his,
Because-
and then apologize to you.
Or from different characters in Night at the Museum.
Were the different cats, the faces, the Robert De Niro faces on the different cats, were they each
In
a different
character?
character from a film of Robert De Niro?
Yeah, sometimes he would have.
So there was a taxi driver cat. There was
The
a
Meet the Fockers cat.
of course, a Meet the Fockers cat.
There was a Meet the Fockers, Little Fockers.
Meet the Fockers.
That was a different cat. Not
There was
so it wasn't just
different-
one
no.
per franchise even.
No,
Okay, there was a raging bull.
there was a Raging Bull. There was a Bad Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa.
There was
Dirty
a
Grandpa, yep.
Godfather. He played young Corleone.
Sheldon.
I don't think he was in Young Sheldon.
It definitely
Unless-
wasn't Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
Gotta look it
I
up.
don't know though. They do this anti-aging technology. Maybe he was young Sheldon.
He could have
I
been
think
Young
it's
Sheldon.
de-aging technology. I think anti-aging is different.
Anti-aging is more of a skincare thing.
Anti-aging is more of
skincare, right?
L'Oreal, like
Yeah.
it's this particular brand.
Okay.
Oil of Yuli.
Sure, that. So
Oil of
de-aging.
Olay?
So maybe I'm not sure. So they were using de-aging technology potentially to create the young Sheldon character. And
No,
Robert
no,
De
no.
Niro.
You've
Robert
gone
De-
off piece.
Robert De Niro played young Sheldon. Robert De Niro played young Sheldon using
Okay,
de-aging technology.
don't bring your manifestos into my dream. Okay, this is a you thing. don't bring yours in it. My dream was
I think I'm getting lost in terms of the different
I don't think he was in Lost.
Robert. Was he in Lost?
He wasn't in Lost. No, it's common misconception that you
was
would
Robin
think he was
Williams.
the black smoke in Lost, but he was not the black smoke. Second,
Okay.
some people think he was the polar bear that turned up in the first season, and then I believe was never explained. But no, not Robert De Niro, not Bobby D.
Okay.
That's what you get to call him.
Was he Walt?
Whitman.
No, the character in Lost, the child,
Oh yeah.
using
The kid.
de-aging technology.
He could have been if
And
he
then-
wanted to.
And then Walt's dad was like, they took my son and made a
Yes.
bunch of really awful decisions. Anyway, we didn't have to get into that. So Robert De Niro cats,
Yeah.
what did they do then?
So I watched.
And let's really try and summarize this, the rest of the narrative beats of this dream.
I need apology letters because the Robert De Niro Night at the Museum was 2 stars at most.
You saw it.
I
so
saw
in
all
the
of
dream,
it.
you did watch
Yeah.
the film.
Yeah, he was both sides of the little miniatures that were having the war.
Owen Wilson, little guys. I
Yeah,
do remember that.
Steve Coogan.
Okay,
Yeah, he was both of them.
cool.
He was Robin
but
Williams,
not
Teddy
good? You didn't
Roosevelt.
like it?
Wasn't, no.
Mm.
I felt his take was derivative, and I felt like him being every single character was at best a confusing
So he
editorial
had
choice.
watched the earlier performances and kind of did the same thing they were doing
Yeah.
and didn't
Was he
make it his
also-
I
own.
wasn't a fan.
Was he also doing the thing that he does on SNL where he is reading off the cue cards very, very obviously?
Very obviously, but at one point it was. It turned out to not be a cue card. It was just an assistant's mobile phone being held near his face.
Hey,
So like a text came through from
Yeah.
somebody and he just read.
Rewrite.
speaking of The Godfather, if Brando could do that, why not Bobby?
Wow, why are you taking this so off
Suppose
piste?
so.
Why are you taking this so off piste with alternative takes? Why are you
Off
dragging this
piste?
out?
What's
Yeah.
off-piste?
So piste is the ski. So like if
What?
Okay,
Genuinely
oh my
never
God.
heard
Is
this
this the
word.
steep
Okay,
off piece?
right.
This is
It's
a northern
skiing.
thing, clearly.
Yeah. Look, if you were
that
to go
Bench and I
to like
What is
As-
happening?
piste
Off
is
piste.
the term for like the run in on the mountain for skiing on.
The
Your
slope?
piste.
It's the particular trail.
Is it the
That's
slope?
the trail,
Like a
yeah. It's the trail.
piste?
That's the slope, but it's the piste, okay? And the piste is
a
where they
particular
have
trail is called a piste.
the piste is where
How
they
do you
have
spell that?
PISTE.
No.
They've manicured
that
it.
is
No.
what, like,
That's the
so
thing.
like paste without
Paste?
with an a with
But
an
like
I instead
more
of an.
French, I believe.
Piste?
No. Why are you making it? Why are you giving it an inflection at the end?
Because you said French.
So it's P-I-S-T.
Say
All right.
other French
So
words.
off piece means like out of bounds,
Yes.
like off
Fromage.
trail.
off trail
You're
because
going
the
rogue.
piste is the manicured bit where they've brought the snow plow out and they've
So
like
off-piste
manicured
means, like,
that.
you're going rogue.
Doesn't
You're going
work
rogue,
for this. It's slope.
Yeah, it's or this particular run or trail.
I believe that
Skiing
both of
culture
you
in the north is
really
insane.
one day just got to get a pair of skis on and give it a bash.
I skied from age 3, and I've
Mhm.
literally never heard the
word piste.
off piste.
Have you ever skied in a
piste.
European resort?
No.
There you go.
We're going to go to a break. For Good Morning Driftwood, we'll see you next time.
Good Morning Driftwood is executive produced and hosted by Zach Stewart, Laura Hotchkiss, and Daniel Kvoras. Engineered and produced by Zach Stewart. Music by Daniel Kvoras.